This is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports, it's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports, time to change your approach with Aaron Holderman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dudes Who Bet Sports Show. It is Super Bowl weekend, and as Jason kicks off the show, he says he's got 17 Super Bowl bets. He may need an intervention. Papa Dude, what do you think? 17 Super Bowl bets. Is that too many or not enough?
I've got to see what all he bet on. You can bet on anything, I'm sure, but you probably can bet on how long the national anthem will take. You know, there's there's just stuff you can bet. Yeah, he does need an intervention, no doubt.
Well, there's good news, Jason. We're going to go over not all, but a lot of the bets you can make today on the Super Bowl on our mega show here, where we kind of not just break down who's going to win, what the point total is going to be, but all kinds of different stuff. So tune in here. We may go over some of the ones you've bet on today. It's crazy. We're Thursday. We're only 2-3 days away now. It feels like it's taking forever for this thing to get here.
Yeah, I'm not a tremendously big NFL fan to begin with, but I do lose interest. That's just too long between those championship games. I mean, I know why they do it. They get the teams a little bit of a break to heal up. You want your best players to be as healthy as they could be.
Yeah.
And the build up and all of that. But yeah, you do kind of lose a little bit of interest in it. It's the only football game there is left. It's been a long time since we've had any other football but the NFL. Basketball's going pretty hard right now. So I think that's part of it also.
Michael says he's at $2,000 on the Eagles money line right now, currently at -120. So he is a big time Eagles supporter in this one. He's got the over in the national anthem. So
the over.
Jason says he's got several more locked and loaded, ready to go. Need everyone to bet things so I can hit the unders. So we'll see how we go there. All right. I'll pull up the ESPN line here and we'll get going if I could find it. There it is. All right. So the line really has not changed hardly at all since, about midweek last week. It's kind of stayed at this 1.5. You've seen it at 2 at times. You've seen it at 2.5 at times. Currently, Philly minus that 1.5. We didn't lock in our picks yesterday. Well, let's lock our last week, I should say, but let's lock them in now.
All right.
Eagles, Chiefs, or Eagles minus 1.5. Who are you officially picking?
My mind has not changed at all from when the 2 games were over with a couple of Sundays ago. Mm-hmm. I think Mahomes will be healthy. I think he'll be okay. I'm going Chiefs. I think they're a little bit better. I'm going to take the more seasoned team and more seasoned coach that's been involved. This is it's first time going through this. It's not easy dealing with all this hype. The Chiefs are veterans of this. I don't think it'll bother them. So 1.5, I'm taking the Chiefs.
I'm with you. I'm going to take the Chiefs as well. Give me that 1.5. Give me them on the money line as well. They're even on the money line.
Yeah.
I can't go against them in this game, and I think they're going to be able to get the job done. I think it'll be a close scoring game. On top of that, or parlaying to that, over under set at 51 right now. 51. That is the point total. What do you think about that? I got burned in Seattle or in Cincinnati and Kansas City going over a similar total. What do you think about this one?
51. Let's look at scores. 27-24, 28-24. Do you think it's going to be that high scoring? 31-28. It's possible. I think if it goes over, the Chiefs win. Mm-hmm. I really do. The more points scored, I think that favors the Chiefs. I'm going to go under. I'm going to go 24-21. Chiefs.
Yeah, that would be 45 points there. It feels like an under to me too. 51 points. It seems like a lot, but I'm with you. I think if it goes over, the Chiefs win, but I think I'm with you on it. I think it's going to be more like 28-21, and I still don't think that's going to go over. I'm going to say Chiefs and under are the 2 picks for me. I just 51's a lot. We didn't see a ton of points in the NFC or AFC championship game.
I think the Eagles might try to run the ball.
Seems like
and run clock. I think they might try to do that. I think that would be part of their game plan. And that's just a lot of points. I hope it'll be an exciting game if it gets over 51. That's for sure.
It does kind of have that feel of, hey, the Eagles are going to take the ball. They're going to try to run it. They're going to try to play slow, try to control the offense, keep that Kansas City offense off the field. I think that's definitely a possibility as well. I like that under 51.
Mhm.
I'm a little concerned about there being more than 51 points in this one. So under as well. How about this one? And this is always a Mike Somich special. He loves betting first half totals, second half totals. First half total over under 24.5. I think that's interesting. Who do you like here? Or what do you like over under 24.5 for the first half?
24.5. I'm going under. That'd be over like 14-10, 17-7.
Yep.
I think we're looking right at that. That's a toughie.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think about this a little bit more. I could see 17-14 also. I'm going to go under. I'm going to stick with my under.
I think it's going under as well. I really do. I think it's going to be a situation where if the game plan is to try to run the clock, play slow, you're really going to see that in the first half. I think you go under that 24.5. Second half is 26.5. If you want to bet an over, I think the second half is where you do it. The game could open up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still thinking it's going to go under that as well. But what do you think of the 26.5 for the second half of the game?
Well, I think if you're betting the game under, you got to go under on that one too, don't you?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do.
I think it's an under type.
You know what? I'm terrible at over-unders. I'm really bad at them. And I'm not good at first half, second half things either. I'm just not very good at that. I don't like to bet that very much. It's just too many things can happen to screw those points.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Defensive scores, punt returns, things of that nature can really screw it up for you.
There's no doubt that it can kind of get sideways on you in a hurry. How the game is played, the game flow, that's always another thing that it's hard to really, predict that. So we think it's going to be a little bit more of a slower game. So hopefully we're right when it comes to that. The big question, the coin toss, heads or tails? What do you think, heads or tails for the coin toss?
It was funny when I was coaching football and was head coaching. There was head coach at varsity level, but at other levels, I always told my guy to call tails. I always did. And you know what? We won the toss 80% of the time, calling tails. I have no idea why, but I always say go tails. I just do. I don't know why. I don't think there's any scientific evidence or analytics on that, but I always told our kids, go tails.
Well, I'm going to go tails as well. I think tails is the call. We're in agreement a lot for the Super Bowl, so we'll see how that works out. Jason says heads. He says he always hears tails never fails. Fade it. Go heads. We'll see what happens there with that one. Interesting prop bet here. I think this one's interesting. If you think this is a close game, will the Super Bowl be decided by exactly 3 points? You can get that at 4-1. Is that something you're interested in? 4-1 is not bad. You get either team as long as it falls within a 3-point margin.
I'm predicted 3 points, 24-21. I got to take it, right?
So, this is some of the interesting things that you can do with the Super Bowl. I mean, at 4-1, if you think it's going to be close, now you could get screwed and it's by 4 or 1 or 2, but 3 is the most common separation there.
Yeah.
If
you think it's going to be a close game, yeah.
Pretty interesting bet, I thought there.
There's a lot of crazy stuff.
Exactly 3 points. Now, how about this one?
Okay.
We both like the Chiefs. The Chiefs to win both halves of the game. Plus 420, so a little over 4-1. Meaning the Chiefs will have to win both halves. What do you think about that?
Well, see, since I predicted a very close score, I don't think they can win both halves. I could see a tie in one of those halves.
Yes. Yes. I'm a little bit worried about both. I could see the Chiefs coming out and getting ahead. They like to do that, get ahead, and then the second half they don't play quite as well. You can get the Chiefs the Chiefs to win the first half at even money. So if you wanted to do that, you could do that. Let's get into a few. These are some interesting ones here as well. Let me pull it up. Props. So prop bets.
All right.
Mahomes over 26.5 completions. What do you think?
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. Oh, boy, that's a hard one. If they win, do you think he's going to have to do that? That's the thing. You got to think to yourself, okay, if they're going to win a game, is he going to have over 26 completions?
Yeah.
I'm going to go over on that, but I probably stay away from that one.
I would go over on that one as well. What about Jalen Hurts? 21.5. I think I'm going under on that. I don't think he'll complete 21.
Yeah. I think if the Eagles wins, he's going to have to, though.
You think?
Yeah. I think the Chiefs will control their running game a little bit. I think for the Eagles to win, I think Hurts is going to have to make some plays in the passing game. I do. But 21.5, that's a bunch. I'd have to look up the statistics in the regular season. I bet he didn't do that very often.
Yeah, I don't think the Eagles will want to throw the ball that much. So I think if he completes over 21.5, they may lose the game. How about that?
That's true. He does throw a lot of short type passes. He does do that. 21.5 is kind of low, don't you think, for a pro quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be a tendency to. I think I like going over on that one more than I do on Mahomes, really.
Jason said he bet Hurts under the passing yards, but over the rushing yards.
Okay, what's the rushing yards?
Let me find those here. I had another one, but another question.
Okay.
Jason had to screw us here. Let's see where.
We can get that later. We'll get.
Hold on, no, we're on it. Let's see: carries, interception, pass attempts, pass completions. Okay, passing yards. Mahomes 295.5. That's a lot.
It's a lot. He gets 300 a lot too. I'm going over.
I think he'll go over as well. And so Jason said he bet under Hurts passing yards. Hurts currently 238.5.
I think he's going to have to go over to win. I will say that. I don't think they're going to win, so I'll go under.
I think he's going under as well. I think it's a pretty good bet by Jason. Now let's go to rushing yards here. Jalen Hurts 50.5.
He went over. He definitely is going to have to go over 50.5 for them to win the game. There's no question in my mind.
I think with the Chiefs' run defense, Hurts will go over.
I do too. I'm going to go over because here's the deal. I think the Eagles have been a little lenient with him, or not lenient. What's the word? A little bit careful with him because of his shoulder. In those last couple of games he played, he didn't run the ball as much. They're going to let it all fly in this one because here's the thing. You get in the Super Bowl, you might think you're going to go back, but you may never go back. So you let it all out. You don't hold anything back. He's had a couple more weeks to get healthy. Yeah, I think they turn him loose running the ball. I'm going to go over also. I like that bet.
All right, going to go over that, and Jason got it at 49.5, so it is moving in the right direction there. He got in before it moved up a yard there. So let's see some other ones here. Interceptions. If you think Jalen Hurts is going to throw an interception, just one, you can get that at even money.
Oh, he's going to throw one.
He'll throw one, all right. Mahomes, if you think he's not going to throw one, you can get that at plus 104. If you think he is going to throw one, it's minus 136. Where do you lean on that?
Well, they're obviously thinking he's going to throw one, right?
It seems to be, yes.
I think he will too. So I can't bet the other one. But you don't get any odds on the other. So stay away from that one.
Yeah, I think it's
save your money on that one.
I think both of them are going to throw an interception.
I do too. I think the law of averages that's going to happen.
there's probably a prop for that. There's a 366 bets that are listed here. I'm trying to go through all the ones that I swear.
No.
I'm going to try to go through all the ones that pop out at me. Let's see. Okay, I was going to go do this one. MVP of the Super Bowl.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, Jalen Hurts is actually the favorite, which was surprising.
Well, that's because they're favored to win.
Right. That's true. Plus 125 for Jalen Hurts. Plus 135 for Patrick Mahomes. Plus 1,200 for Travis Kelce. Plus 1,600 for A.J. Brown. Those are your top 4. Anybody you're interested in there?
Well, I mean, quarterback always wins it, doesn't he? Just about.
Pretty much.
Yeah. If I was going to take one, I'd take Kelce. That would have been my second choice. But okay, in order for a wide receiver to win it, what would he have to do? He'd have to catch probably 3 touchdown passes, right?
Probably so. Yes.
Or catch a couple,
and
then make a couple of great plays. Otherwise, to win it, right? And maybe make an unbelievable catch.
Yes.
To win it, and that's why the quarterbacks are where they are. I will be shocked if the Chiefs win that Mahomes is not the winner of the MVP.
It's almost a certainty that he will be the MVP. I mean, even the year the Chiefs won it, he didn't even have that good of a game, and he was the MVP. So
the thing is, a defensive player could, if he gets a bunch of sacks, for example, or if they run an interception back, or maybe they get another interception, something like that. That's how a defensive guy can get it. Running backs, the Chiefs don't have a dominant running back. The Eagles do, but Hurts runs the ball so much that Sanders doesn't get that many carries. And A.J. Brown, he's very good too, but I just don't think anyone except the 2 quarterbacks are going to win. If I was going to pick one, I'd pick Kelce simply because I see him make huge plays week after week after week.
Something interesting, you brought up defensive players, and I think if the Super Bowl was last week, Cincinnati versus Kansas City, to me, the MVP of the game was Chris Jones.
Yes.
He's 50-1 if you want to take a flyer on him in this
51.
game. I mean, he for a defensive player to win it, you have to be so dominant.
You have to dominate the game.
Obvious, yeah.
Here's the deal, though. This week's going to be a little different defensively for the Chiefs because they got to account for Hurts is running the ball. They can't just cut loose and go after him. I mean, Burrows can escape, but he doesn't have the ability that Hurts does to hurt you with his feet. So that pass rush will have to be a little more controlled in this game.
Yep.
I think.
Yep. I think that's going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be I still think it's going to be Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts. The one thing about Philadelphia, they could win without him having a dominant game.
They could.
Miles Sanders at plus 2,800, that's not awful, right?
Well, he'll have to run all over the field, though.
He will have to run all over the field.
Yeah.
You're right. You're absolutely right. All right, let's keep on going here. So we think the Chiefs are going to win by 3, or you do. You can get Chiefs to win by 1 to 6 points in that range.
6, okay.
For plus 320. That's not bad.
No. What's the next thing?
You can get the Chiefs to win by 7 to 12 points by at plus 500.
Well, for betting purposes, if you think the Chiefs are going to win and you got a few extra dollars, I think I'd take that 7 to 12. I can see them winning by a touchdown, couldn't you?
I could. Yes, I could. At plus 500, that does make a little bit of sense. It's a pretty good number for sure. Let's see. Here's if you want to do the Chiefs or the Eagles in 10-point band. So the Chiefs win by 1 to 10 or the Eagles win by 1 to 10. Plus 190 for the Chiefs, plus 185 for the Eagles. These are decent bets.
They're good ones too. You bet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're getting 190 for either one of them?
Yep. Well, plus 190 and plus 185. So, I mean, essentially the same
thing. 1 to 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you like one of the teams to win, that's what you bet, don't you?
Yep.
I mean,
And
well,
that's-
there's always a chance it could be a blowout.
And if you believe the game's going to be a blowout, 11 to 20 points, plus 600 for the Chiefs, plus 550 for the Eagles. So if you do have that opinion of a blowout, there's the numbers for you.
Well, if I was going to pick a blowout, I just don't think the Eagles are capable of blowing the Chiefs out.
Yeah.
But I could see the Chiefs breaking some stuff and maybe blowing the Eagles out or winning by. Yeah, you can win by 2 touchdowns. It's not a blowout. You might score late to make it, 2 touchdowns. But I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I'll be surprised.
Now, I would be pretty surprised if there will be a blowout in this game. All right, how about this one? This is an interesting one. Total yards for both teams, total net offensive yards, 731 and a half. Are you going over or under that?
731. That's 360 apiece.
Uh-huh.
Man, I wish I looked some of this stuff up before we start here. I would say the Chiefs are probably averaging. I don't know. They don't run the ball much, do they? I think I'm with Jason on that. I think I'd go under that.
Under for you and for Jason, I'm kind of with you. I think it'll go under. Total yards, total net offensive yards for the Kansas City Chiefs, 359 and a half.
I bet that's right at their average, probably. Well, I think they're going to win, so I'm going over on that.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on that one. The Eagles are 366 and a half. And again, it's just a matter of who you like. And we like the Chiefs, so I think the Eagles will go under that.
Well, I'm thinking Mahomes may have 300 himself.
Mm-hmm.
So then they only have to run for 59, 60. And I think they'll do that. So
here's one. I like this one.
Okay.
This is a fun bet. Combined touchdown and field goal scoring yardage. All right. So that means if you get a 45-yard run, then that counts as scoring yardage for a touchdown. Obviously, field goal, self-explanatory. 50-yard field goal counts for 50 yards.
Okay.
Over under 198 and a half.
198 and a half. Got to put the pencil on that one.
Yeah, you really have to think about this one. This is
Hey,
really
let's
good.
say you have each team has a 45-yard field goal.
Well, there's 90.
There's 90. Okay, so then you got to get.
Well, you obviously rack these up by the field goals. So the first decision you got to make, I think,
How many field goals?
how many field goals are we going to get? Yes, because a 1-yard touchdown run absolutely kills you.
That kills you.
Yeah.
But the chances of them having maybe a 35-yard touchdown pass is there too.
Yes.
That's there. Yeah, the whole key is the field goals. And be my luck, I would pick 4 field goals and they would all be 30-yarders, 25-yarders,
Yeah.
I could see some field goals in this.
Yes.
Didn't you?
Yes. I like the over in this.
Okay. Yeah, if you think there's going to be, say, 3 field goals, let's say there's going to be 3, and they're 40 yards each one in that ball.
20.
Average out to 40.
Yep.
It's 120. You only got to get 78 and a half. Yeah, I think the over is the way to go on that one.
Yes. I think that's just a fun bet. That's something fun to keep track of. You're not really caring who wins or who loses.
Yeah.
It's like, you want, what are you rooting for? Long kicks, which are fun, and explosive plays for touchdowns.
Yeah.
What could be more fun than that, right?
All you need is a couple of 40-yard field goals. That's 80.
Yeah.
A 70-yard pass. That's 150.
Well, you got it then.
About got it.
Yeah.
Unless the game ends up 7-6.
Yeah. I mean, if you can get one explosive play for a touchdown, you're in really good shape.
If you're thinking it's going to go 50 points, the game might be, if you want to bet that over 51, I think you bet the over 198 and a half, don't you?
I mean, to me, this is a bet where you obviously there's a lot of luck involved in it, but it's just kind of a fun bet, right? And even if you're like, I'm a Chiefs fan or I'm an Eagles fan, one of the two. So the Chiefs, 97 and a half yards, that's theirs. And the Eagles are 101 and a half. So I don't know. It's just kind of fun to think about that. So
Yeah,
that's a fun bet. I don't
it
know.
is.
That's just me. So
97.5 for the Chiefs. That's what they've got to get.
yeah. And I mean, I think they're over that.
Oh, I do too. Especially if you can get 2 40-yard field goals. You got it, man.
I know. And they've been held to field goals a lot this year.
They really have.
Yeah. So
And
maybe that'll be my best bet. Chiefs over 97.5 combined TD and field goals.
Sunday rolls around, that may be the way to go. But we watch the Chiefs a lot because we're here in Missouri, so we see them every week. I don't see the Eagles as much, and the Chiefs do kick a lot of field goals.
Mm-hmm.
They do. So,
Jason says first play from scrimmage is a pass plus 110. What do you think of that one?
The first play from scrimmage. Well, does that mean the first play from scrimmage for the Chiefs or for the Eagles? It's the game.
First play, period.
I think the Eagles run it. So I would say no on that one.
All right. We'll see. Trying to see if there's any more. I think we've covered enough of them. Let's
Eagles.
see.
If I was the Eagles, the first play of the game, I would run a play action and have Hurts throw the bomb, depending on the field position.
Well, if that happens, Jason's going to cash his bet. Plus 110.
That's what I'd do if I was the Eagles.
It really, I'm with you. Kind of, that's a tough one. That's a tough. I would think it would be a pass for either team. Honestly, I think they would want to get Hurts a pass early. Kansas City, you'd think a pass as well, but that's a tough one.
I am surprised of watching the Vegas lines and everything all year long that the Chiefs aren't favored.
I am too. Yes.
Because they've been double-digit favorites how many times this year?
I know. A bunch. Yeah.
And the Eagles haven't. They've been favored, but not like the Chiefs. So what's happened to change this around?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, the Chiefs had the tougher road to get there.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles beat a team without a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that's being hammered in enough. The Niners had no chance in that game. They had zero chance.
Correct.
After Purdy went out. And they made a game of it. I mean, it wasn't totally blown out. It took a while. And they got a lot of dumb penalties on one drive that gave the Eagles the touchdown that separated them a little bit or made it 14-7. So to me, I just don't see why the Chiefs aren't favored. And I may be totally wrong, and the Eagles may be a lot better than I think they are, and I hope they are. But I just am really shocked that the Chiefs aren't favored, and I think that favors the Chiefs.
I don't really understand what the Eagles are still. I just don't. Jason, you just said, I looked down the comments. They really just haven't played a team that gets you excited about them. And even San Francisco, it's like, yeah, you got like their third quarterback out there. Actually, it was their fourth quarterback out there. It's like, I don't know. And it's not like they beat the shit out of them,
They did not dominate that game. And now they did dominate the Giants. I will give you that. They did, and they look fantastic. But how good are the Giants?
Yeah.
What were they, 9-7, 9-7-1, something like that?
Yeah.
Now, the Eagles were in a very competitive division when you look at the records of the teams that were in that division.
Mm-hmm.
That was the strongest division in the league, and they won it fairly easy. So they are good. The thing that bothers me the most is this is true. They've not faced an elite quarterback.
No.
How many of their players have ever been in this game? I think that makes a tremendous amount of difference.
Mm-hmm.
I do. And you've got a guy that's going to be quarterbacking on the other side. This is his third Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot to prove. And there's no doubt he's as tough as nails. And he's better than Hurts. I'm sorry, he is. And I love Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
but Mahomes is better, and I got to go with the quarterback that's the best quarterback in this. I just do, unless the other team is head and shoulders above the Chiefs, and that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little surprised that they're not favored.
Yeah, I'm too. I thought they would be. I thought it'd be 1.5 the Chiefs' way. So we'll see, though. Maybe we're way off with our.
Well,
thoughts.
we may be.
Yeah. What color will the Gatorade be? How about that? Blue, orange, lime green, or yellow, red, purple, or will it be water, clear?
Oh my gosh! Now that one's really tough. I'm not a Gatorade expert. Boy, I bet somebody out there has watched. Does the team get to pick this?
The blue is plus 175. So
Okay, does the team get their preference, or is this decided by the NFL?
I don't really know the answer to that question.
What you do is you kind of go back and you look through whatever game films of you find of the sideline and see what color the Chiefs have. I want to go. Blue is the favorite.
Yes,
is that right?
Blue is the favorite.
Do you have a preference of your Gatorade flavors?
You know what? I'm sorry. Lime/green/yellow is a slight favorite. Plus,
Okay, that's what I would pick.
That's what I would pick too. Yes.
Yeah. Do you have a preference?
I don't drink it anymore, so I guess blue was my preference. But
was that a raspberry taste, a blue raspberry, or what exactly? I don't think I've ever had blue.
I think it was called like Arctic Rush, and I can't really tell you what that flavor was.
I have never drank. Now, is Powerade the same thing as Gatorade?
It's not the same thing, but it would be for this situation, it would be the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the grandson likes. It looks purple to me, but I guess it's blue.
It'd probably be blue. Yes.
And
No, there is a purple. There is a purple. That's plus 1,500.
He also likes a red color too. I've never seen
red is 600 to 1.
Okay, now this is Powerade. I've never seen him drink yellow or anything but the red or the blue. So that doesn't mean a thing, but Riptide Rush.
It was a very good flavor. Yes. I guess they still have it. I don't know.
I never was a Gatorade fan, to be honest. It was okay.
Will Andy Reid wear a Hawaiian shirt during the Super Bowl?
What does that mean?
Plus 1,400. He's not going to wear a Hawaiian shirt.
No. Would that be under his?
No, it's like that's what he would have
at
on.
The game.
Right. Yes.
There is no way in hell. No. Nike.
Listen to this one. Will the words burger or cheeseburger be said by Andy Reid during his post-game interview? Yes is plus 155. No is minus 210.
I'm assuming he says this quite a bit.
I guess.
Like, I'm going to go get a cheeseburger, maybe, because the game's over and I want a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Will they mention Andy Reid's clip or show his clip of his punt, pass, and kick contest? Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Plus 105, yes. Minus 135.
That will be shown on the pregame for sure.
Yeah. All right.
I do like his commercials. I think they're pretty funny.
It is, yeah. It is pretty funny.
And he's a good actor. I think he's pretty good in that.
Yeah, he does do a decent job at that.
He does, yeah.
All right, last one. The distance of the first touchdown of the game, over 7.5 yards or under 7.5 yards?
Wow. You're a degenerate if you bet that.
I would say I would go over. I would try to go over now.
That is simply a coin toss. How could you possibly? If you get that right, you're just lucky. Because what if somebody fumbles on the 1 yard line?
Right. Yeah.
That is crazy stuff.
All right. That's it.
Spent 34 minutes.
And we didn't go through, 10% of them.
No, it's just unbelievable. Only in America could Super Bowl Sunday be a holiday.
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, we got to go to the NBA now because a bunch of stuff is happening, and it's crazy. I'm going to pull up the standings where we sit now.
I'm glad you did.
We'll go to the Western Conference because the two big teams, Dallas and Phoenix. Well, really the Lakers as well.
Lakers too.
But Dallas and Phoenix add marquee players from the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
So Dallas gets Kevin Durant, and Phoenix gets Kevin Durant. They're now in 5th as of right now. And then Kyrie Irving goes to Dallas, who's in 4th. Who's the big winner, Dallas or Phoenix? I think I know the answer.
You know what I'm going to say, but there's no former coach that's going to say Dallas is the big winner. Here's the thing with Durant. He's proven he can win anywhere.
Yes.
You know, he was super successful in Oklahoma City. If they could have stuck together, they would have been the Warriors, in my opinion. If Harden, Westbrook, and Durant could have stuck together, they would have done what the Warriors did, but they couldn't keep them for various reasons. And then he went to Golden State and did win. And the experiment in Brooklyn, they were close to getting to the finals in two of his years, actually. And then he's been injured, and so that just didn't work out. So will he fit in Phoenix? I don't think there's any doubt he will. I do. And the thing about Durant, he's going into a place where who's the boss there? Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody respects Chris Paul. So I think he's going to fit in perfect. I don't think that's a problem. The problem was we would discuss this morning, health. It's health and age.
Mm-hmm.
But the health factor is the biggest one because Durant has shown wear and tear, and he's been injured a lot, mainly his legs and feet. And that's a problem that's not going to go away. Chris Paul is 37 years old. How many years has he got left? And then Booker has been hurt off and on the last 2 years too. If they can get healthy, along with Ayton, they've got 4 elite players right there. And like you were saying this morning, they've been 1 player short. They got him. He's as good as there is. Had he not got hurt, the Nets might be the best team in the East. They were rolling when he got hurt.
Yep.
So I think they are going – I don't think they're going to catch Denver and get the overall number 1 seed, but I think they're going to win their division. I don't guess that matters in the playoffs if you win the division. Or does it? Do you automatically move up to the top 3 if you win your division?
Right.
I think they could do that. They're only what are they here? I've got it right here. They're only like a game and a half or 2 games behind Sacramento. That's in first place in their division. So they can win their division and move up to 3. I think they will. They're playing pretty good anyway. Now, how soon is he going to be ready to play? Does anybody – he's out, but I think he's been practicing or been working out or something.
He's close to being back.
Okay. So I think they're the big winner. The thing with Dallas and Kyrie, short term, sometimes he fits in and he does fine. Last night he was unbelievable. He was great. They went in. I forget where'd they go last night. The Clippers went in to LA and beat them.
Yep.
He'll give him a shot in the arm. Can he get along with Luka? I was listening to some guys on Oklahoma City radio talking about it yesterday because they're big Dallas fans. One of them is. And he was scared to death of the trade. He's afraid he'll affect Luka's psyche or whatever. I don't know. So the key is, how's he going to fit in? If he fits in, is he happy? He made Dallas better because he is a great player when he plays well. So I think they both improve themselves, don't you?
I think Dallas is sneaky. I really do. And I don't get me wrong. I'd rather be in the Suns' position for sure because they've been close. But I actually think, and this may be crazy, I think in the short term, and I mean this year, I don't know past it, I think Kyrie being there is going to help, and I think they're going to be better because of it. I really do.
They're not bad.
They're not bad. They add him.
They did lose a good player.
The longer Kyrie is with the team, the worse it gets. But in the short term, he might be okay with them.
I could see him accepting the challenge of pulling his team along with him, and he kind of likes to do that.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to do it all because he's got Luka, who's as good as there is. I tend to agree with you in the short term, but long term never works out for him. It just doesn't.
And Gabe, right on cue, what we were just saying. Yeah. I think, hey, we got 20, 25 games left of the season, or 30 games left of the season, whatever it is, in the playoffs. I'm on a contender. He obviously hated Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Got a guy like Luka. I mean, it could work. I think it could work. I don't think that's the worst trade. But if after the season you got him for 5 years, that's not going to work out.
It's never worked. So
we'll see on that. But
Phoenix, I think Phoenix is saying, okay, we got a chance to get this guy. Chris Paul's not going to be around much longer. We've got Booker. We've got Ayton. Now, they lost a couple of good players that went to the Nets. That's going to be hard to replace. But if they can stay healthy, I think they're looking at, hey, this is a shot to win it, and we got to go after it. And now the other team is the Lakers. And when you look at where they're at, they're not that far out of a playoff spot. And they got D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt. These are all guys that are pretty good that will really help.
Mm-hmm.
The key there is they got to get Anthony Davis to being consistent and playing every night. Because when he plays, they win. When he plays well, they win. LeBron's ready for a stretch run. So they got 24 games left. No, wait a minute. They got 27 games left. 27 games left. They're 5 games below 500. Could they go 20-7 down the stretch? And that's a lot in a tough league. I don't know whether they can. I think the first thing they got to do is, I've said a million times, they got to get to 500. But can they catch OKC that's ahead of them? Yes, they have better players, right?
Should be able to beat them, yes.
And they beat Utah. Well, yeah.
Should.
Portland. Aren't they better than Portland?
Should be better than Portland.
Yes. They're better than Minnesota. So I don't know that they can get any higher than 8 or 9, though. They're buried down there pretty far. New Orleans is starting to play better. Golden State, I don't know what they're going to do. You never know what the Clippers are going to do either. They could catch them. So I don't know. I do think the Lakers help themselves. I think the NBA is better off when the Lakers are good.
Mm-hmm.
I do. So I know we were talking this morning. How good is Denver? How good are they? They're playing great. They got a superstar. They've just never done it in the playoffs.
Mm-mm.
So I don't know. Now the other team are the Nets. What's going to happen there? They got a ton of good players in these trades. They got some pieces. They're 32-22.
Yeah, I was going to scroll up to them now. They're in 5th. I mean,
they're in the hunt. They've been holding themselves above water without Durant. How quickly can this all mesh, though? I mean, they got a whole new team, basically. So, to me, man, they kind of threw away the season. It kind of looks like, but maybe these guys will all get up there in different environments and mesh, and who knows? In the long run, though, they may come out of this all right. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they got rid of a lot of problems. They got some decent players.
Mm-hmm.
They probably can do what they've done post, like when Durant got hurt. I think they're that kind of team. Like they'll probably stay 5, 6, right around in there for this year, and then try to rebuild it. I mean, that's about all you can do.
That's it. They lost their superstars, but they got solid players. They don't have that stud that you got to have, but they got solid players. They got those draft picks, which Mike pointed out this morning from Phoenix. They won't be real good picks because Phoenix just drafts down towards the bottom because they're too good. But yeah, it kind of. I thought they'd try to get to the end of the year with Durant. I guess they just. I don't know. That kind of shocked me when I saw that this morning.
Yeah, I wasn't really looking for him to be traded, but I'll take that back. After you hear all that chatter, yes, I was ready for it, but not until I started hearing the chatter. But I guess I wasn't following it close enough to make that assumption because he's gone. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to the Nets. I still think they're in decent shape. By the way, the ninth race at Gulfstream just ran. It was our race of the day on the show.
Mm-hmm.
The one wins the race.
Okay.
Weren't we all four on the one?
Did we get to try?
I'm waiting here. 1:10, 3:08. So no,
we didn't get close to the try.
No, but the one does get the job done. So there you go. We did
it
again.
Yes, we did.
All right. Final thing we got to talk about before we get out of here. Our one of the Blues, I would call him one of the all-time best Blues.
He's close.
Vladimir Tarasenko has officially been traded. We knew it was coming, but it officially has happened. The Blues trade Vladimir Tarasenko away. They also trade Nico Mikkola, a defenseman that hadn't really panned out for them. The Blues get a first-round pick in 2023, a fourth-round pick in 2024. Prospect Hunter Skinner. I looked him up. He's not much of a prospect.
I don't think so either.
And Sammy Blais comes back home. Sammy Blais. So former Blue, went to New York, now back with the Blues. What do you think?
At one time, a prospect, Sammy Blais was.
He did some nice things with the Blues.
He did. He couldn't stay healthy with the Blues.
No, he couldn't.
Hurt all the time.
Yeah.
It had to happen. We knew it. Us Blues fans knew that it was going to happen. It just was when it was going to happen. I hate it because he was one of my favorites. But in the last couple of years, he's either lost a step or lost interest or something. I don't really know. I think the Rangers might, if he's got anything left, he's going to a great team. I mean, they're solid. They need a scorer. He might put them over the top. It's possible. They've got great defense. Their goaltending is good. They're shaky scoring. They need that guy. Couldn't you see him getting on a roll? I could. It's a shot in the arm for him. I just don't know whether he can fit in New York.
I really don't know if I can see him getting on a roll or not.
If he's got anything left.
Been watching him. He just has not looked the same the last few years. So
no, and I don't. You don't know about these guys, I think he got butthurt when he didn't get to be the captain. I don't think that should affect your play.
Yeah,
but sometimes you get butthurt and you don't get over it.
It feels like that may have happened. Yeah.
Because he wasn't happy after that. He never was.
No.
And, it is what it is. I think he's top 8 Blues of all time, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not top 5 because we've had some really stud players. But as far as longevity of playing there, a lot of our top guys weren't there all that long.
No.
So I hate it, but they were going to have to do it or not get anything for him.
Yep.
And you know what? When you get in these situations where these other general managers know that you just got to get rid of him, they ain't going to give you nothing. You just don't get it. When you get yourself into this position, and you can't blame the Blues for it. I know Armstrong, the general manager, gets blamed for everything. Are you going to get rid of him before the season started? I mean, is that what you were going to do? And that shows the fans you think we're done. I don't know. It's just a tough decision to make. You want to show loyalty to the guy.
I think Gabe said it best. Sometimes you get butt hurt and you don't forget about it.
Well, it's true. It's true. I'm sorry.
It's true.
You don't get over it.
I think that's a quote that we're going to have to start using. So.
Well, it's a fact, Gabe. You know, it just sometimes it hits you in the gut, and you don't get over it, no matter what they say. You know, he's sitting there thinking, "Hey, I deserve to get this. I've been here through all this shit and everything, and won a cup, and I didn't get it." And some guys are sensitive, and I think he is.
Yeah. No, I don't think you're wrong. It's just funny.
I'll try to remember that. When I said it, I didn't really think it was that good a quote, but anyway.
It is a pretty good quote.
But it's true.
All right. Well, hold on here. We may have an update. Let's see. Hold on. No, I did lose. Yeah, it sounds like we got an update here on Cave Rock. We got a quote from Bob Baffert. It sounds like he's still a couple of weeks away. So, yeah, he's not going to be back for the Derby. You can go ahead and forget about him. All right.
Yeah, that's true.
That's it. That's it for today. We're going to cut it off there. Got a lot going on.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
All right. College basketball. Okay. Here's your top 4 seeds right now. Tell me what you think. Ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Purdue. Should they be a number 1 seed?
I don't think they're any good.
All right, let's do it this way. Of the top of these number 1 seeds, which one's going out first? Ready?
Okay.
Purdue, Alabama, Houston, and who the heck's the other one? Arizona. Purdue, Alabama, Houston, Arizona. Which number 1 will be out of the tournament first at this point? They may not be. Huh?
Alabama. I don't think they're. I mean, I don't think they're good.
Right now, at this time, there's a lot of basketball to be played this month before we get to this. This is premature to have this, I think. But there is no clear-cut favorite. There's just nobody that's out there that's head and shoulders above anyone else.
No.
It's they've still got Tennessee as a 2. I think they're a fraud.
I think Tennessee lost to Vanderbilt.
Yes.
Tennessee will be out very early.
I just think they're a fraud. I think there's a lot of these teams. I really like Texas right now, but Kansas did what Kansas does and beat them the other night. But that was a tough game for Texas. Coming off K-State and had to go to KU. That would have been a tough chore for anybody. I like UCLA at 2. I think they're pretty solid.
They're tough. Yeah.
Yeah. But the conference they play in isn't great. So the more and more I see and watch, I like Houston. I don't think they win it all. But I tell you what, it's going to take a really good team to beat them.
Yeah. I could see Houston. I mean, I don't think they'll win it, but they're going to be a tough out for sure.
Yeah. Right now, can you believe this? They have Arkansas and Kentucky as right on the edge of not making it. There's no way they're gonna make it. They have Arkansas as an 11 seed.
I would say Arkansas is definitely in.
An 11 seed.
And I would say Kentucky.
I will pick them on whoever they play.
Yeah.
They're better than that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Kentucky's not.
No.
So
no, Kentucky's not on the edge. They're in.
Yeah, but it's close. They lose another game or 2, but they're not going to leave Kentucky out. No. North Carolina is 9, a 9 seed. Well, they're going to be in, but they're a 9 seed. Can you believe
They were a horrible seed last year.
They really were. How would you like to play them first? That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Well, that's what we said it last year, and they went all the way to the finals.
Yeah, wouldn't it be fun? You work and work and work, and you get that 8 seed, and guess what? You get to play North Carolina. That'd be fun. Duke is a 7 seed at the moment. Wouldn't want to play them either, would you?
Yeah, I would want to play them.
Oh, you would? Not me.
They're no good.
No, I think so. I wouldn't play them. I tell you, a team that I think is coming on a little bit, starting to play, is Baylor. They're starting to play better.
Yeah.
But it's wide open, man. When we start doing this tournament, oh God, it's tough.
It's going to be impossible. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be absolutely impossible.
I think this is kind of interesting. Clemson is in first place in the ACC. They won't finish there, but that's where they are. And they're an 11 seed because they've won a lot of games in the ACC.
Yeah.
I think another team's pretty good is Pittsburgh. They're playing good. So in the Big East, Creighton is playing really well.
They're always a tough one.
They are. It's going to be fun when it comes around. Trying to pick these games every night's impossible.
It's really tough because there's a lot of teams that are exactly the same.
They are. The Big 12, they all look alike. Even the bad ones, with the exception of Oklahoma, they've kind of separated themselves from all the others, I think. Mm-hmm. But even team like West Virginia, they're playing great.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma State's playing great.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's tough. That league is tough. Whoever comes out of that's going to be battered and wore out, I think.
Yes, without any doubt.
It is a tough, tough league.
It is a very tough league for sure. Yeah.
Yep. There's a lot of it. Big Ten's tough too.
Yep.
Not great teams, but everybody's pretty good. And you got to bring it every night or you're going to get your ass beat.
But that college basketball, that's every league. Because the teams are all the same. I mean, there's not a whole lot of difference. And that's where you're going to see those weird, I mean, not weird, but that's where you're going to see just crazy.
Yeah.
A 10 seed and a 3 seed, there's really no difference.
No, there's not. So, no, there's not. It's going to be fun. Because of ESPN Plus, I've watched a lot of. It's so great. We pick these games every night. I don't know whether you do this, but it'll come down towards the end, and you can just flip to ESPN and watch those last minute or minute and a half, whatever. A lot of these games are going into overtime. Tons of them are.
Yep.
I'm amazed at how good some of these teams are from these lesser conferences. They've all got players.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good. And they all look alike. You look at one of them, and their record's like 7-16, and they got some players that they're good, you know.
You could pick a lot of underdogs right now in college basketball and be in good shape.
It's kind of the dog days, you know.
You can make a living betting the underdogs right now. Like Monmouth last night was a team. They're 4-20, but they won.
Yeah, you know? Against a decent team. I mean, and they're horrible.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough right now.
The Kentucky game, I think Arkansas was like a 5.5 point underdog going in that game and won outright. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But there's a lot of basketball to be played. And some of these teams that are kind of in a little bit, they're going to lose a few. They'll drop back.
Yeah.
Michigan's got to make their run.
Yeah, they're doing their normal. And
don't leave out Syracuse. They kind of seem to play well down this last month. And their record is
horrible.
They're not very good. Their record's not that bad, though. They got on a roll, knocked off a couple of people. They're Syracuse. You know, people know who they are.
They're pretty bad.
Yeah, they're not. They haven't been very good in quite a while.
No, they're a team that they need a new direction really bad.
Yeah, but what do? You
don't.
No, you're not going to tell Jim Boeheim, sorry, you know.
No.
Thanks for giving your life to us, but you're out.
There lies the problem. So we'll see. We'll see.
He's pretty much got to quit on his own. He's kind of like Paterno and some of those guys that hung around so long.
Yeah, I mean he ain't going anywhere. That much we know. So
no.
Hire Ricky. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. With that comment, we're out of here. All right, guys. We're getting out of here because the Magic Mike Show coming up here pretty quickly.
All right.
Mike Show up next, and then Blinkers Off will be right after. Well, not right after, but a little bit after the Magic Mike Show. You got 30 minutes to the Magic Mike Show, and you got 2 hours and 30 minutes until Blinkers Off. So a lot going on still. This show is over. We'll be back next week to break down what happened in the Super Bowl and look ahead to more action. I think we got Oakland coming back next week with some stuff. So that being said, we're getting out of here. Good luck in the Super Bowl, all your bets, and we will see you next week.
This is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports, it's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports, time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.